Well, I'm sure you've all heard the horrific news. And yes, I'm sure it's my fault, Cold Brew's fault, Murder Inc.'s fault, all of the CCs. This is on us because we showed you a champion that came out and looked good. I'll tell you now, it's not on us. It's on lazy testing before it gets to the content creators. That's what it's on. But the Priest Orn has been nerfed before he comes out into game. Okay, so Myciliac Priest Orn, I showed him in a video yesterday, and he's actually going to be the Fusion Epic champion. I showed him in a video, and he was, as of yesterday, one of the best epics in the game to do solo dungeon content. What have they done to him? I feel like, right, someone comes out, Eurogrim's a good example, and they don't nerf a lot of champions, by the way. There's a lot of comments, nerf, nerf, nerf. They don't nerf a lot, okay? They've nerfed a few since I've played the game, like proper hard nerfs. This is one, and it's before release, so you can't really be too upset. You never had him, but still, this A1 has gone from a 30% chance of landing a poison to 15. I'm not too fussed about that, okay? I think it was needless. I think that they saw he was strong and they've nerfed a few things instead of just nerfing one thing. It's just like, oh dear. Like, hold on a minute. Before we get into the nerf, when you saw this guy, like before I'd even played with him for 1 minute, I looked at his kit and I was like, poisons, okay. I was like, popping poisons, interesting. AoE poisons and healing, crazy. Oh, hold on. A passive that stacks health and defense instantly without even like within 3 seconds. I'm like, this guy can solo dungeons. Yeah, this guy should be able to solo dungeons if his stats were good. That was my instant thought. So whoever's made the dude, it's like, do you know your game? You did the same thing with Eurogrim. This is almost exactly the same scenario. It's almost identical to the Eurogrim thing. How do you not know that that's already what this champion's going to do if you understand your game? I knew it before I'd played with him. Before I played with him, I was like, that's the first thing we're going to test. In fact, if you watch my stream VOD, it's the first champion we tested before Alil, the crazy legendary Void, before everyone else. So I was like, this dude feels like he's going to be significant. Anyway, off my soapbox for a minute. The other thing they changed here is the A3. So instead of 75% books to 100, they've switched it to 50% books to 75 of landing his poisons. That sucks, honestly. I wish that was still 75. Because the second part of the nerf is big. They've reduced it from a 5% heal per poison to a 1% heal. Ay, ay, ay. Look, I wish they'd kept this as a 75 and removed the healing, honestly. Because I think this dramatically changes the champion. I think this you could get away with. Anyway, what I'm going to do is throw him in exactly the same gear that we had him in yesterday. Roughly. Near enough. I'll equip this and just upgrade this because I've got some other stuff I've been doing on the test server. But the rest of his gear is identical. And let's see what he does now. So we've still got 64k health, 3k defense, 227 speed, enough resistance, enough accuracy to do all of his job, yeah? And he's still in a regen set. I think what they did wrong with him before today was they allowed him to solo stuff not in regen gear. He was soloing it in Relentless, Savage gear, whatever you want, basically. He could do it. Also, my master here is War Master. I'm going to leave it the same. I think we'll if it doesn't work, we'll switch him into what I would normally run for a solo champion and see if that works instead. But we're going to run it the same as I did yesterday. It might be that he can still do some solo stuff, honestly. His kit is still good, but it's not as crazy. So you see now, we didn't get poison sensitivity here. We got poisons everywhere else. He will not heal if a poison is not placed on the A3. So that's why, like, reducing his chance to land it, really, it sucks quite a lot. But he still has got a high HP pool because he's HP based. He's still able to poison a whole wave of enemies. So I think he might still be a really good pickup. You know, forget us crying into milk for a minute for the free-to-play community that thought they were going to get a legendary and an epic skin. And I was in the same camp, my free-to-play, by the way, but we're not in any trouble yet. even with the nerf changes. Yeah, so we can just kind of chill for a bit. It's a big nerf, but in regen set, I think he's still got enough of a punch to do his job. And I don't even have optimal solo farm masteries on right now. Yeah, normally we would go with that support tree mastery, which gives us more speed. I still didn't switch to that because I wanted to see how close he was to what he was doing yesterday. And obviously, I mean, saw some comments yesterday on my video before the nerf kind of chat came about, and people are saying, well, they could pair him with a Venom Mage or someone else. Yeah, you could. It would speed up the run quite a bit. If you've got one other person or an HP burner or something like that, again, would speed up the run quite a bit. So definitely a duo is on the cards. But this dude is getting to the dragon in the same build comfortably. Yeah, we're not in any danger whatsoever in regen set. So yes, it's annoying. And I want to talk about something else on that side once we've seen this run finish. But he's still very good, actually. He's still very good. He's just not quite as... He's just not going to be as consistent, I guess. We weren't seeing any dragon stuns at all yesterday because we just had so much poison out there so quick. As I said, I don't have optimal masteries on right now to cycle through this even faster. But just the chance to land it going down does suck quite a bit. But we're still going to do this, and we're still going to do it. I mean, it's probably going to end up being about 40 seconds slower than it was. Yeah, so it's slower by a reasonable amount. But we're still easily doing it. Okay, so we could just kind of chill a little bit. Yeah, it's not as crazy a nerf as perhaps some are saying. It's a significant nerf from where he was, but it's not as crazy as some are saying. He still easily solos it in regen gear. Now, the other thing I want to talk about here is the fact that they're very quick to change a champion that looks OP. And I get that they should do that before he's in the game. Yeah? But when we give feedback about the actual fusion, consistently giving feedback, pretty much everybody in the CC group and videos that have gone out alongside it, saying that Morrigan looks half decent, but we've got an aura which is in line with epic champions as a legendary unit. We've got an A1 which doesn't give us 100% chance to drop a speed as a legendary unit, when really that's what you're looking for. Yeah, if that's her job, that's what we're looking for, right? This ability I think is fine as is. This ability is probably okay as is. The passive, honestly, feels like it absolutely blows. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. At the start of each turn, places heal reduction for 2 turns on an enemy with the lowest HP. This cannot be removed, resisted. Like, it's so niche. I just don't know when it's going to work. At least make it all enemies. At least make it all enemies. Just do it. Because it's such a nothing ability. If this was all enemies, if this was 100% once booked, and if this was a normal speed aura for a legendary champion, then we've got someone we can get a bit hypey about. Okay, and that's the feedback that I've given. But that goes on deaf ears. Yeah, when I say this is not a legendary champion, it goes on deaf ears. But when we show off the epic acting like a legendary, instantly quashed. And that's what's annoying for me. Anyway, guys, look, he's still strong. He's still going to be worth picking up. He's not as strong as he was. But I would still say he's worth a pickup for most people that are kind of progressing through the game. But anyway, you've got to make your own decisions. All I do is sit behind a camera and make a couple of vids. Anyway, there you go. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.